What's up, everybody, and welcome to Chosen Supports. I'm your host, Lakeisha Washington. Thank you for joining me today. If you don't know, now you know. Chosen Support is a podcast for the chosen ones. We're going to get into the real behind this journey. So lock in, get you a comfortable seat, and let's get to the real. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Chosen Support Podcast. I'm your host, Lakeisha Washington. I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. Tonight's episode is called The Runaway. But before we get into the podcast, I just want to let you guys know that I am a whole introvert, okay? I do not like talking. I am here because I've been going through some shadow moments, some real dark times, some real turbulent times. And I sat with Spirit and I had to talk and see what was going on. And one of the things that I heard was that I'm not alone and that I needed to share. And that's part of the reason behind my podcast as well. So bear with me, guys. We're all here learning. We're all here trying to support each other. Yeah, help your girl out, because this is new to me. But yes, tonight's episode is called The Runaway. As we all know as chosen ones, being chosen is a full-time job. The world around us sees us all as being strong, but what they don't see is the weight that most of us have to carry, myself included. Even though we know quitting is not an option, it doesn't mean that we aren't tempted to. After all, we are still humans. Tonight's episode, I want to talk about the difficulties that we have to face on this chosen journey. First and foremost, we have the initiation. And when I think about this, it makes me laugh because why didn't nobody tell me that being chosen was like getting initiated into a game? I mean, I'm constantly getting beat up, and I know some of you are too. It's like you get up and you fall again. You get back up and you fall again. You have to go 12 rounds getting hit after hit after hit. Only thing is you don't get knocked out. Tonight's episode, I want to talk about having a fight or the trials and tribulations that we have to face. I don't know what trials and tribulations you've had to face, and I want you all to comment below and share your stories with one another. With me included, it's easier, I feel like, to be able to connect with like-minded individuals or individuals who are going through some of the same things as you to help us navigate this and just to be understood. I don't know about you guys, but I am the one that has the knowledge. I am the one that has the connection to spirit. I am the one that people come to. I am the one that is constantly pouring into others. And because of that, I'm not really surrounded by people who understand who I am or who have the ability to pour back into me. So I created this space for that. But yeah, I want to hear you guys' testimonies and stories as well to help us feed off one another. But I'm going to talk about the trials and tribulations that we have had to face. I have been going through since childhood. I came into this world raised in a single parent home. It was my responsibility to take care of my sibling, amongst other childhood traumas that I had to face. Throughout life, I've had constant ups and downs, constant rebirths, constant deaths, constant trials and tribulations of figuring out who I am and no longer resonated with that person. And just as soon as I feel like I'm stable, I'm falling again. On top of that, I'm dealing with struggles and dealing with trying to figure out where I'm going to live, what kind of job I'm going to have. I mean, it's been one thing after another. And for me, I haven't had a break. And that's been something that I've been trying to communicate with Spirit. It's like, okay, at what point is my test going to be done? At one point, are you going to say, job well done? And to be honest, I'm at a place where I don't feel like that will ever be the case. I feel like we will forever have to keep going. I don't feel like our journey will ever end until it ends. You understand what I'm saying? But it doesn't make it any easier to navigate. It doesn't make it any better. And I feel like most of that is because all we see is positivity. All we see is abundance and blessings. And those of us who are chosen, I don't know, but like myself, I'm constantly telling people or bridging the gap between this physical realm and spirit. So I have the ability to prophesize to people and tell them what spirit is getting ready to do in their lives. And I've been blessed to watch it unfold. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, where are you at for me? Well, where is my blessings? When is my turn going to be? And that creates a lot of doubt sometimes, trust issues sometimes. It tests my faith constantly. But I feel like as a chosen one, that's what I'm supposed to do. I feel like I'm supposed to be tested. I'm supposed to be tried because I have an ability that a lot of people around me don't. So it goes back to the initiation, right? We have to get beat up. We have to walk through the shadows to be a light, and all of these things that we have to do to be chosen. It's not just hey, you're gifted, you're blessed type of thing. You have to prove yourself worthy of the gifts that you've been given, and people don't understand that. We have to find out what our purpose is. It took me a long time to figure out who I was spiritually. And even now, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what that means. For me, God showed me the ending before the path. I know who I'm destined to be, but I don't have the ability to see the path in front of me. I don't have the ability to see the steps on how to get there. It's like as I take a step, the next step is unraveled, and so forth and so forth. And for me, a person who grew up the way that I did, a person who couldn't rely on anybody, I've always been the one to try to figure it out, try to do it on my own, not ask for help, not seek help. And that's been a very, very hard transition for me, to go from being this person that could only rely on herself to now being in a position where I'm being called to step into my purpose. And the only way for me to get there is through spirit. So I have to surrender the control. I have to be obedient. I have to listen. I have to step and walk down a path that I don't have the ability to see or navigate on my own. I don't know about y'all, but that's made me extremely uncomfortable. It's tested me in more ways than one. And that's another thing that people don't understand about being chosen, is that most times we do have to walk this thing blinded. We do have to only rely on our faith. We are called and tested in so many different ways that the world doesn't truly understand that. And it's not easy. In regards to the childhood traumas, I grew up in a household, like I said, where I was in a single parent home, but I was gifted as a child. And I can't wait to hear your story so I can see how some of these things relate. But I was gifted as a child. I had the ability to see spirits as a child. And no one believed me. You understand what I'm saying? No one believed me. So I had to navigate and figure this out on my own. When I started coming back into my spiritual gifts, I had to navigate them on my own. I was blessed as I got older to come into contact with a spiritual advisor who was able to guide me a little bit. But for the most part of my life, I had to navigate these gifts alone. And I thought something was wrong with me. It wasn't until later on in life, actually recently, when I started writing my book, that my family started coming forth with some of the gifts that they too hold. But for the majority of my life, I had to navigate these things alone. Now everybody else is waking up and remembering. But it was very traumatizing as a child to walk in my hallway and see a spirit in the stairs. And I'm looking around like, can't nobody else see it? So yeah, people don't understand that either. And I'm pretty sure a lot of us felt alone, felt like no one understood us, felt like we were different, felt like we were strange because nobody else admitted to these things, right? But again, as being chosen, you are here to create the change. You are here to shift the atmosphere, shift the world in some way. And you have to get to that point. You have to wake up and realize that, but you have to navigate the journey until then. So I know it's not easy. It's not. I want to talk about the battles that we have to endure and navigate on a daily basis. I am a light worker. I naturally shine. I naturally attract strangers. I attract broken people, but that's interfering with my relationships because I'm an empath, because I'm a healer. I'm attracting broken men. I want somebody to be on my level. I want somebody that can pour into me just as much as I can pour into them. But that's hard to find because of who I am, right? Not only that, but I'm an empath. A person doesn't have to say anything to me. I can automatically know that they're lying or that they're telling the truth or that they're fake or that they're real. I sense the energy. I feel the energy. So that also impacts my relationships, impacts my friendships, because I don't want to mess with nobody. I would rather stay in my circle by myself. That's not reality, but a lot of us probably feel that way. Like we cannot connect with other people because we are gifted, because we know these things, because we feel these things. Like, how are you doing? Because I'm struggling. I constantly have to keep myself grounded, motivated, protected. We all do, right? Because we're either under spiritual attack all the time. We're taking in other people's energies, mentally, physically, emotionally. We have to keep ourselves protected out here because we're trying to manifest our own lives, our own paths. We can't allow anything to interfere with that, not even our own self-doubt. But when I first gained my spiritual abilities back, because they were dormant for some time when I was younger, my gifts actually subsided after my great-grandfather passed away, because I dreamt his death. And right after having the dream, he passed. Everything that I saw came to light. So it scared the heck out of me. And I just ignored everything until I got older and spirit was like, no, you can't run from this anymore. It's time. But during that time, I was working as a customer service agent and it was a mess. I'm taking calls. One call, I'm happy. The next call, I'm angry. The next call, I'm happy. The next call, I'm angry. My ears constantly ringing. I'm having migraines, which turned into blackouts because I'm walking into all of this every day unprotected, not grounded, and then I came into understanding what that meant. Doctors couldn't tell me what was wrong with me. I went to therapists. They couldn't tell me what was wrong with me. Ear specialists couldn't tell me what was wrong with me. Nobody had an answer. Everybody was saying that I was completely fine and completely healthy, but I'm suffering. Every time I walk into this building at work, I am immediately met with a migraine and my ears ringing. So I'm not understanding what's going on. And I started to learn more about spirituality, more about spiritual gifts, and it all started to make sense, right? What was I missing? I wasn't going into that building protected. I wasn't going into that building grounded. So I learned how to do that. Now I have the ability to cut it on and cut it off. But that was a struggle for me, not knowing how to protect myself. It physically impacted me. Not being protected. It messed with my mind, right? Because I'm coming into contact with people who are down or depressed, and now I'm feeling down or depressed, and it's messing with my manifestations because I'm not mentally in alignment with what I'm trying to receive or bring in. People don't understand that this journey is not for the weak. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand that this is not your typical 9 to 5. Like, you have to really endure a lot. You have to truly be strong. And there's multiple job tasks that you have to accomplish every day. But with all of that you have to take on, all of the responsibilities that come with being chosen, it's hard to stay positive sometimes. I can't be the only one. Because like I said, not only are you chosen and having to deal with everything on a spiritual front, you also have to deal with everything in the physical world. Like I said in my introduction, I've been homeless. I've been in abusive relationships. I've been molested. I've had childhood traumas. I've been locked up before. I've had job after job trying to find a little bit of stability. And it's like as soon as I get stable, I'm there for a little bit, but then it's like God is saying, no, move here and do this. And it's like I can't catch a break. I I can't sit down for a second, and I don't think people understand that either. Like, it's not a smooth ride. Not that it's ever meant to be, because nothing breaks me. I might bend up a little bit. I might get a little bruise. I might fall. I might hurt myself, but I get back up every time and I keep pushing. But it doesn't mean that sometimes I don't say, Spirit, I'm tired. And I don't know if I can go on anymore. This is a battle, and this is the real behind it. It's not all manifestations and abundance and blessings, and God will make a way out of no way. Yes, he does. But you also have to take steps. You also have to do your job, your part, and you have to prove yourself worthy. And that's not always easy. With juggling everything, having to discover who you are alone, feeling alone all the time, constantly feeling like you're unheard because you can't expect those that you're pouring into to pour into you. Not having anyone to relate to you. If everybody's coming to you for advice, if everybody is expecting for you to pour into them, you look up, and when you feel like you are defeated or ready to fall, who's there for you? You can talk to spirit. We have the ability to tap in. But sometimes, I don't know about y'all, sometimes I would like to have a physical body to talk to hear me. I would like to have, the same transaction as a person does when spirit sends me. Do I get that all the time? No. I've had it. But sometimes when it all becomes too heavy, when it all becomes too much, we need that. We need that support. It's not there very often. I've felt like breaking so many times, and I know a lot of us have felt that way. I've been posting some videos on TikTok, motivational videos, and I can tell by the likes and comments on some of the videos that I've posted. A lot of us are in a space where we feel like giving up, but we know we can't. But you have to be strong. You've come too far to stop or to go back. A lot of us have put in so much effort and so much work into healing, into overcoming our shadows, overcoming our childhood traumas, walking this journey, stepping into our gifts. We put in so much work that to quit now is a no-no. Not only are we dealing with the spiritual gifts, the physical realm, the day-to-day of being human, we are also having to fight spiritual warfare. We have to fight against the enemy who doesn't want us to be us, who doesn't want us to fully step into our power. So we're getting attacked from all angles. And when you fall, 9 times out of 10, you have to pick yourself back up. That's not easy. No one is thinking to ask the strong one if they're okay. They're so used to you being the one that they come to, you being the one that's pouring into them, that they forget that you are human too. And although we can take a lot more, it doesn't mean that we still aren't fragile and that we too break. A lot of us are overwhelmed because of the weight that we have to carry on our shoulders. Not just our personal weight, but the weight of others. With all that weight, who wouldn't want to give up? Who wouldn't want to run away? I know I have plenty of times. Like, Spirit, I quit. I don't want it no more. And then after a couple of days, I'm like, okay, I'm good now. I'm going to keep going. And it was like, okay, well, here go another task. Boom. I'm just here to let y'all know that it's okay. You are truly a superhero. You are truly doing something that most people couldn't handle. So even though you feel broken at times, even though you feel alone, even though you feel like giving up, you are chosen for a reason because you have the ability to navigate it all like no one else does. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of us all because this journey is not easy. But we were chosen to do it. I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. You already know what to do. And I want you to comment below to these little questions. How do you keep yourself motivated to keep going? What has been some of your biggest obstacles to navigate? When was there a time when you wanted to run away? And like I always say, you know what to do. Let's get to the real. Thank you. I want to thank y'all for tuning in with me today. You can follow me on all platforms: YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram at Chosen Support Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, share the podcast. Turn on those notifications so that you don't miss an episode. Again, until we meet, I'll be posting a podcast every week. Make sure you stay locked in. Thank you again for joining me. You know what it is. Let's get to the real.